next Hello Kitty Island adventure update is coming sooner than you think. 1 week from today, on Wednesday, February 26th, we'll see the next update for Hello Kitty Island Adventure on Apple Arcade. That means we're going to be seeing new content coming to the game and potentially new features. This update will not be coming to Switch and Steam on Wednesday because we know Apple Arcade gets the updates first. This also takes us off that 6-week cycle because it's only been 5 weeks since the last update, so we are skipping the 0.5 update this time. And after this, it sounds like we'll go back to our regular every 6 weeks, but this one is coming early. We are still awaiting our first big hint, and if it drops before I'm done with this video, I'll include it a little later on. Otherwise, it'll be in the next one. However, today we did get the name of the update, and the name of this next update is Update 2.4 Snow and Sound. So with snow in the name and the anticipation from the last update, we are hoping to see that snow village, everything that's over there, in a new area, new cabins, most likely new visitors, maybe a new activity or mini game, more critters and fish, and hopefully a continuation of the Frost Flowers storyline and expanded plots for them, and maybe whatever the big payoff is for all that waiting, we're getting a little bit closer to it. However, we don't know that for sure. We did hear that content from 2.3 was too big and got split between these two updates, so that's part of why I'm thinking that. But the way Big Challenges talked about the Snow Village, it also made it seem like it was going to be much further into the future, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see everything in this update, but I kinda hope we do. Cabins, puzzle rooms, expanded flowers, new visitors, maybe a mini game. That's what I'm imagining. Maybe new critters, fish, clothing, furniture. We'll have to wait and see. And then for the sound part of the name, maybe this is gonna be an expansion in City Town. Discord has been discussing potential Pecco's CD store in the future. I don't really know what I'd do with that or why I would want it. Part of me is thinking maybe a Retsuko karaoke club with some sort of a mini game. I could see something like that meaning sound. Thinking about Retsuko and the visitors, I could also see us unlocking Washimi. I also wonder, do we have any sound-based villagers? Maybe an instrument store? Maybe we could do something else with the floating stage? Maybe sound is related to an avalanche and that helps us get to the snow village? Maybe Retsuko has to sing to break a few more things, to move some snow or ice boulders that are too big for our pickaxe? I could also see it being related to maybe some sort of a new quest in City Town. Maybe if we did end up with a CD shop for Pecco, maybe it would function like the comic book stand, and you'd be able to take all of those different singles and turn them into a complete album for some reason. Or maybe we could have other ways to play music other than the single music player we have now. Maybe the quest would finally allow us to register our music collections, so then we could play from any music player, sort of like in Animal Crossing, making a more practical collection rather than having stacks of the same CD. Maybe it's something else entirely, a musical instruments shop. Maybe you could customize the instruments, assign them to villagers, and have them perform or play a minigame with them. Maybe we could see music-themed accessories, like headphones, maybe something with a Walkman, or wearable musical instruments. And maybe we're gonna see more levels for Usahana. We don't have that fully confirmed yet, but that feels like a possibility. Maybe her 3-heart gift, but where there's a ton we don't know about 2.4, and we know that there's probably a ton we haven't even thought about for 2.4. We'll have to wait and see once we get more details. And just as I finished up editing, we did get our hint. So in the official Discord earlier today, we were invited to speculate over what exciting things may come next. And then they gave us this. In bold, do you hear something in the air? As music notes and sparkles, a melody drips light as a feather. It lingers, calling, inviting you closer. Step in, listen in. Something new is about to begin. So, you have any ideas on this one? Let us know in the comments below. Now I know we were talking about Mapu, who looks like a polar bear with a blanket, seems like a perfect visitor for cabins on Icy Peak, or Blizzard Peak, or the Snow Village, wherever they are. And I think that's still a possibility, but maybe one of the things that could be with this doesn't quite fit for the habitat. But could we also maybe see humming, like music? The Hello Kitty Wiki says that she loves to sing music. Maybe Hummingman is leading us somewhere. That feels feels like a possibility. Light as a feather, we did just get frost feathers on Icy Peak, so maybe this music could be leading us to something with those. Something bigger, maybe a flower lab in the snow, maybe someone running a flower lab in the snow, some kind of magical greenhouse. Maybe we'll be listening to sounds and following them to a new area or a new building, but especially the last part, listen in, something new is about to begin. That feels like it's gonna be a story. So another major story quest maybe. We did have sounds involved with the island spirit. Maybe we could see sounds of II. So maybe it sounds in City Town on Imagination Island, starting us on the big story quest over there, starting to expand into a new area. It feels too soon, but I'd also really like that rather than being trapped in City Town more. We have been getting more dreams. Maybe we'll just see more dreams. Maybe the feather is just referring to Peckle. Maybe it's just a new City Town shop. Peckle runs it, has something to do with music. Maybe we find a music shop. Maybe Peckle doesn't have to run it. Maybe it's somebody else and he's just involved in the quest. Maybe it's another bird villager. With the emoji, it does seem to be magical music, some sort, and has a Pied Piper vibe. I feel like Hummingbird fits better on Imagination Island, and that's something that we've talked about in the past. So maybe an expansion over there. I kinda doubt it, but maybe. I feel like Deary Lou makes more sense over there. The whole rainbow forest thing. I mean, it could be literal, like my melody is somehow floating away. I mean, it'd be really fun if it was the Beat Cats, but I'm pretty sure they're a collab. We do have Landry, whose hobby is music appreciation, but it feels like probably some sort of a Pied Piper situation, leading us to a new story quest and maybe going inside somewhere. This may be one of the weirder clues we've gotten, so definitely if you have any ideas, share your thoughts in the comments below. Our side was wrapping up again and we just got another hint. So this image was dropped in the official Discord. If you download it, it's labeled spoiler and we see a stick, but it's also giving Animal Crossing vibes. And there is a little part of me that's wondering, what if we had handheld sticks, handheld items you could run around with them like the villagers in Animal Crossing? I'm pretty sure that's not the hint here, but maybe there is a new source of sticks on the island. This makes me think we're definitely looking at a new area, probably the Snow Village. I'm not quite sure what's down here in the foreground. Could this be our first glimpse of the new cabins? Maybe it's just a log or a down tree in a pile of snow. It looks like we have some ice here, maybe some sort of an ice path. But I think the biggest thing in here, I know the stick is centered. We have a new tree, and the tree is covered in snow. So are we really getting some sort of a pine forest? If we are, I feel like that opens up the possibility for many of those different characters we talked about, and so many more. Are we looking at some sort of snowy woodland biome? Pine trees, cypress trees perhaps? Will we actually get a larger snowy area to explore? Not just a terraced mountain this time. I can't help thinking that the snow goes up on the right hand side, kind of like a hill. Could we see sledding in the Snow Village? Will we end up seeing pine cones to go with these trees? Am I gonna really need this many sticks that there's going to be a third source for them? Is this warning us that it's going to take a ton of sticks and woodblock in order to repair the bridge that goes to the Snow Village? And if we are getting the Snow Village, everything I said earlier in the video, and then also remember maybe Gudetama? I feel like, is this the only biome where we didn't have any? Maybe it's too cold for them. But will we see additional resources up here? Does this mean we're exploring the back side of the mountain? Another lower area? Not quite Gemstone Mountain height, but not the very peak either. The Animal Crossing player in me feels like I need to shake that tree. This is also reminding me that we've seen something very much like these trees before. In the 2024 Give and Gather preview, they actually showed us snowflakes and then we got snow. Choco Cat talked about making snow angels, so now I'm wondering, is that really in the game? And the tree in the stick image, this one over here, looks very similar to the trees we see in the Give and Gather image. So was Give and Gather actually a preview for 2.3 and 2.4? And if it was, could we be making Pom Pom Purin into a snowman? Could we be building a snowman in the Snow Village? We have snow, we have sticks, we could use the sticks for arms. Does Sanrio have any snowmen come to life as characters? Are there any characters who would feel at home in a snowy forest? We know that Sanrio's had a bunch of snow-themed merch lately. Could we be unlocking snow suits for the characters so we could all safely play in the snow? They also recently had their or Forest Friends line. But in any case, this simple picture gives us plenty to think about. So let us know in the comments below what you think is coming in the next update, given our clue, the name of the update, and now this little picture. Subscribe for more Hello Kitty Island Adventure content. We will be streaming the update on update day, probably sometime in the afternoon. Remember, you'll probably need to manually update your game by going to the App Store and downloading it from there. Turn on notifications to find out the next time we go live. Hope to see you there.